Next couple of videos we're going to be talking about something called a lookup or lookups. A lot of times people will call those drop-down lists where you get to pick from a list as opposed to typing in something. So in this example what we want to do is if I look at the contract table again and I see student ID here, if I said, hey, I need to change the student associated with this contract because it was typed in wrong, or if I'm going to add a new contract here and I want to pick from the existing list of students that I already have, it would be nice to have a drop-down list on this so that way I could just click and pick as opposed to trying to memorize what a person's ID is. And so the list that I would get as a drop-down would be driven from the list of students that I have in this table. So I'm going to create a drop-down list that shows me the student ID and the student's name, and then I can pick that from the list as opposed to trying to type it in here. So foreign key fields are a very good candidate for lookups. They're very commonly used for that purpose. And so in this case we want to do that, but when we first try to do it we're going to get into an error, and I'll explain why. First I'm just going to open up the database tools and relationships window, and you'll see that there's already a relationship between the student and the contract table, and this is going to cause us a problem when we try to launch the wizard here in just a second. So we're going to have to come back here and delete this, but I want to run through and do the error so you see what's encountered, and then we'll handle it. There's another error that I'm going to do on purpose that will probably some of you will run into, and so it's a good thing to know what the problem is there. And so let's go ahead and try to do our lookup using the contract table. So we want to open the contract table in design view, and then I want to go to the student ID field, the data type, which is currently text, and click the drop down list and choose Lookup Wizard. Now when I go to do this, to launch it, it's going to prompt me and say you can't do this because this field is involved in a relationship to another table. So it's basically telling you you need to then go delete that relationship if you want to proceed down this path. And I say, okay, that's great. So I click OK. Then I go to my database tools and I go to relationships. And then to delete a relationship, you just right click on that thin line between the two. So if you have to spread these out a little bit to get a piece of the line that you can get a hold of there, just right click on it and then choose delete. But we're going to get another error, and this is a common problem that you get too as well. You say yes, okay, I'm going to go ahead and delete it, and it's going to say, hey, you can't do that because the database engine can't lock the contract table. It's already in use by another user. Whenever you get this, something's already in use by another user, what that's telling you is you left the table open. Okay, so it's saying that I can't lock this table and ensure that nothing's going to happen while I break this relationship because it's open. So if I right click on the table and close it and ask me if I want to save changes, it doesn't matter because I didn't really make any substantial changes. Then here, now I can go back to my relationships window, right click on the line and delete the relationship. It says yes, I want to delete that. So now the relationship between the two tables is broken, and that's what I needed to do in order to get to where I can create the lookup wizard, or create the lookup using the wizard. So once I've done that, then I can save my relationships and then close it here. And then we're just about out of time for this video, so we're going to come back in the second video and actually run through the process of creating the lookup.